Hello, this is Shakil Ahmed. In this tutorial, we will learn how to construct some new variables based on available variables. Basically, we are talking about composite endpoints that are mostly used in health-related studies. For example, uh, when we talk about a chronic condition, the person or the patient may have one of any type of disease, for example cancer or heart disease or any type of any chronic condition like strokes or any type of disease that is uh, called chronic. The definition of chronic is basically the a disease that worsen day by day, basically that persist for a longer period. So how we can calculate an index or a score on the basis of that we can say that a person is healthy or a person has a chronic condition. So in this video I will show how we can create such variable on the basis of existing variables in national health and nutrition and examination survey. So for example we have most of the variables like just on in terms of uh, multinomial uh, having more than two categories like we can see frequency of feeling depressed, that is a depression scale. We can say that not you are not at all depressed and you are depressed several times, several days or more than half the days or nearly every day. So this is on this consists of four categories. For example, 0 1 0 means no depression, 1 and 2 and 3 we can say this is the type of ordinal data starting from 0 to 3, and 7 means depression or the person has refused to answer, and 9 means it is missing some other uh, category. You can check the proper definition in a National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey codebook for the details. I'm just in this video I'm showing how you can construct new variables and analyze your data. So these are examples we will be using in uh, our upcoming lectures, like including logistic regression. When we talk about odds ratios, or when we talk about risk ratios, when we talk about other advanced statistical analysis on these data. So similarly, the smoking and intensity is also measured on ordinal scale, that is no smoker, occasionally, regularly, and other things. So I just shown the data for smoking intensity and then frequency of sugar drink, that is sugar intake on daily basis, that is also on an ordinal scale, never to very often. And then on the basis of these variable we can construct a new variable. For example, for as I told in start of the lecture that how we can define a chronic condition. So we have multiple type of disease, like if we talk, we can say that the first variable we have is the doctor told you have diabetes. So this is just a variable uh, on diabetic status. So it has one, two, three, and four. Basically, one means has diabetes, and two means don't have, and 3 and 7 and 9 are other categories. That is 3 means not known and 7 means other things. But One means the presence of disease, and two means uh, the disease is not present. And uh, you can again check the code book for all the details of all the categories, but these are only in form of yes no answers, whether you have told by the doctor that you have diabetes or not. And similarly about high blood pressure, that is also a chronic, maybe also a chronic condition. And congestive heart failure, that may be another type of chronic condition. And coronary heart disease, CHD, you can say that is also a kind of. So these are some chronic conditions. So on the basis of this variable, I am constructing a new variable that is called composite endpoint. And on the basis of we will do that, that variable we will do another analysis, that whether a person has a chronic condition or not, and what are the determinants of this the new composite variable. So we can construct a variable in uh, two ways. The first one is the number of chronic condition. For example, 0 means the patient has no chronic condition, 1 means one chronic condition, 2 means two chronic conditions. And similarly, if we have five diseases, then they may a person may have may has, for example, five chronic conditions. So this will be on an ordinal scale, or you can say a count data. So the composite uh, endpoint will be a count variable, and we need to apply count regression models or association models for this type of composite endpoint. So let's construct a new composite variable. I have already we have discussed this data set, that is National Health and Nutrition and Examination Survey, and we have demographic variables. We can just run, uh, and these are the basically new variables we are talking about. Uh, this is frequency of depression. You can see the frequency table. Using the frequency table, how many categories and how many missing values, and how you need to replace missing values. You should think these things first, and then the program is running. I think it will take time. So this is the variable. Do you now smoke? Means you are currently a smoker, yes or no. And this is another variable. Sorry, I missed the bracket. And the variable on the basis of we are constructing the new variable, that are the diabetes and high blood pressure and congestive heart failure. These are the variables. Basically, on the basis of these variables, we are constructing a new composite endpoint that will cover all these variables. So when a person has uh, no no condition among all these variables, the value of new variable will be 0. If the person has one condition, then the value will be 1. If the person has two conditions, then the value will be 2. So let's see, we have row sum. That is basically we have a data frame and we have these variables. If you have more variables, for example 10 variables, you can add all these variables here. So I had 5 variables, so I just listed in columns. Basically I'm selecting these columns from my data frame, and if any of these column is equal to 1, uh, all the ones will be sum basically in this row wise. If there is no one, then it will return a zero value. If only one, then we have one, the value will be 1. If we have two ones in the row, we will have uh, the value 2. You can just see, if you want to see the subset for your clarification, we can just see the head. You can see just like for case 1 it will be 0, that will be removed as if this is NA, but we are just replaced by 99, so it will return the 0 value. Otherwise it will be removed as we have given an option of NA remove. And this will be all, this will also be 0, third will be also 0, and this will be this will also 0, and this will be 2, as we have two chronic conditions. One, that is blood pressure, and third, that is which variable, MCQ160B, and that is heart disease, coronary heart disease. So this person has two chronic conditions, and this person has also two chronic conditions. So this will be our new variable that will tell us the count of the chronic conditions, how many chronic condition, uh, chronic conditions the person has. So you can see this, and you can see the frequency of the new variable. Now the variable has 5 possible values starting from 0 to 5. As we have replaced all the NA values by 99, so these are all counted in 0 categories, but this is not true. uh, you should keep the NA remove is equal to true without replacing the NAS by 99. That will remove the cases with missing values, and you can also exclude the cases, for example, in which the person has refused to answer for all categories, then that category will be removed. So this is a new variable that is called composite endpoint, and you can do analysis using cone models. Secondly, you can you can convert it into a binary variable. For example, I'm just creating and saving in the data frame, basically chronic uh, binary. That is, you can just use if else command. This df, that is data frame, and your new old variable chronic count is equal to 0, then 0, otherwise 1. It will give it the binary variable with in terms of 0 1. 0 means no chronic condition, 1 means one chronic condition. But in some type of chronic composite endpoints, we need to construct a variable based on the pre-specified threshold. For example, if two of the at least two chronic conditions uh, persist, then we can say that this is more a serious one, and 2 or less is not an issue. Then uh, the- we can convert to a binary variable on the basis of the value 2, less than 2 and greater than 2. So in that case you can just convert it into less than or equal to 2. For example, you are including 2 in 2 or less are not considered a chronic condition, and if the person has 3 or more conditions, then we can say that uh, there is a certain that is a serious case. So these are all definitions you should do, uh, search in literature, and you should decide how to construct your new variable, your composite endpoint. So we can just see a binary variable that is df binary. So it has two conditions, only two values, two classes, and we can see the frequencies in the two classes. So that's all about to constructing a composite endpoint. In next video, we will see how we can construct. We can find the odds ratios or risk ratio and adjusted R ratios for these variables, and taking the covariates, for example, age, education, and physical activity and other type of variables. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe my channel.